Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Jo. I talk about all sorts of things. I spend a lot of time on stuff that's happening in Australia because that's where I'm from. So if you've been on my channel for a while, you would know that I've done a few articles on Christian Porter, the Australian politician that is suing the ABC. Well, last time there was a bit of a hiccup because his lawyer now is in a case to decide whether she can act for him. Now, it's been really hard to find any narrative on it. There was a hearing on the 19th, which was yesterday, my time, just to work out some things. It's due to It's due to be heard on the 24th, 25th, and 26th of May. So where it will be judged, where the judge will make a decision to see whether she can act. So this is the New Daily. And they've stated that if Christian Porter loses a senior lawyer in his defamation case, it will be a big deal. Apparently, she has a skill in defamation, and she's done all the casework on it. She's done all the groundwork. She's done all the preparation, and her lawyer, her barrister. So she's been represented here. Her barrister said that it may be in jeopardy if she can't act, which is why we're vigorously defending to keep her in the counsel of the case that has the most serious implications for Christian Porter. So this has come about by an application to restrain the barrister from the case because from a good friend of the woman who is now deceased, who made the allegations of against Mr. Porter when they were minors, and which he denies. Now, she maintains, this friend, that she had a confidential discussion or information with the barrister, and that they had a lawyer-client relationship. Now, the barrister is denying that. She's saying, well, no, it didn't have, it was discussed in November 29 in a Chambers meeting, and whether it is classified as confidential at the time remains so is a key issue for the judge. So the barrister's lawyer is saying that Ms. Dyer was a prolific public commentator about the allegations related to her dear friend and cited 15 Twitter comments. So the inference could be made that Ms. Dyer's discussions with Ms. Chrysanthou were made elsewhere in the public domain. Now, what's really interesting is that the justice actually said, well, hang on a minute, if you've had this private conversation and you've had this discussion and it has to be confidential, then aren't you a lawyer-client relationship? And they're disputing that a lawyer-client relationship existed. So you've got the one side that's saying that Miss Chrysanthou, the barrister, was acting for Miss Dyer, who was the friend of the deceased. And you've got Miss Chrysanthou who's saying, no, we didn't have a lawyer-client relationship. She just asked me for some general advice and I gave it. So this is where it's all going. Michael Hodge, representing Ms. Dyer, argued that there was no doubt his client's interactions with Ms. Chrysanthou at the time was confidential in nature and considered an efficient exercise to produce every possible communication on the topic. So you've got so now, this is actually going to be a big, messy case by the looks of it. However, the defamation hearing with Mr. Porter cannot occur until they work out whether his lawyer can be represented. So the defamation case has been frozen until Justice Tom Thorley decides whether there's a conflict of interest, and they've assigned 3 days for it. So, so there's going to be arguments over documentation between the two, whether it can be revealed, whether, that client attorney privilege now is gone and communications from both sides can be shared. And then if it's an attorney-client relationship, does that mean that there was a relationship of attorney-client? Does the conflict of interest exist? So this is going to be a great, big, huge mess by the looks of it. And in the meantime, Christian Porter just has to sit and wait, and nothing can happen, as I said, in this defamation case. Now, it's already been stated that if his lawyer, if it's deemed that his lawyer is a conflict of interest, all of his documentation needs to be rewritten by a lawyer without a conflict of interest. They then argue whether everything that's been filed by the barrister so far is invalid. If he does get to keep his representation, then the ABC will argue that they need to refile a defence because they've relied on information about this attorney-client relationship. So it's essentially a big mess. Whatever way it's going to happen, there's going to have to be rewritings. There's going to have to be, things are just going to have to happen. So, yeah, watch this space. This is going to be a very interesting debate, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but I tell you what, I can't wait to find out. I'm really looking forward to tuning in, and it is public. They actually give a public link, so I'm hoping to be able to tune in on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday to watch it all unfold. Hopefully this finishes early Wednesday. Or hopefully it finishes on Tuesday, so then Wednesday the defamation matter goes back to it. Otherwise, yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping. I'm quite excited to see how this all unfolds. This is what started out as probably just a really simple matter has just unraveled, and the ABC, of course, is using the defence of truth, and we don't know what's in the defence because Mr. Porter has had it suppressed. So obviously there is some interesting stuff in that defence that he doesn't want people to know, but we'll wait and we'll find out. So hit the like button and subscribe if you're interested to find out the next part of this saga. Hit subscribe, ring the bell so you can get alerted the next time that I do an update for you. I hope you have a really good day.